Hello, and welcome to my discussion of Major Essay 3. It's also going to be a little bit of an introduction to problem solution essays as a kind of essay, because we think this will help you figure out how to put together your discussion for this paper. One thing I want to point out is that Major Essay 3 is just a little bit more complicated than Major Essay 2, which you have already finished. So if you look at the requirements, it's 45 pages, just like the last one. There'll be a works cited again. You'll be using 2 of the approved sources. The main difference is that there are 6 quotes or paraphrases instead of 4. So you got this. I think a problem solution essay is a good approach to this assignment because academic arguments often explore problems in our society. You can think of this paper as having 3 steps. 1, you define the problem. 2, you explain why the problem is happening. Then 3, you explain a solution that would help. And those can be, multiples. It can be more than one problem, more than one solution, but that's the general idea. The consumerism debate portion of Major Essay 3 assignment sheet is the problem that we'll be exploring with this assignment. I'll go ahead and read it to you. Many people argue that the emphasis on acquiring and buying things, sometimes called consumerism, has gone too far in American society. We often buy things that we do not need, and we even buy things that we do not especially enjoy. These consumer habits can lead to psychological harm and even financial ruin. The problem is not limited to individual consumers. Society is becoming aware that those behaviors are having lasting effects on the environment as Americans produce more waste than ever before. If the downsides to consumerism seem obvious to so many people, why do Americans still buy so much stuff? Is it due to a lack of self-control, corporate greed, the consequence of American culture, social pressures exacerbated by social media, or something else? How do we explain the rise of American consumerism, and what should we do about it? So the prompt is essentially the narrowed down topic for your paper. Prompt is a fancy word we use in academia for the topic. This is the focus of your paper's claim that will be made in the thesis. Your stance is your opinion and what you'll be proving in your paper. As you read through the sources, keep track of important elements. Those are problems the author is explaining about consumerism, solutions the author is offering. So now that I've decoded it, right, we can look at the prompt and understand it. So the prompt itself is using the information from the readings, class discussions, and your own observations and experiences, identify an important element of consumerism and take a stance on that issue. When you look at the section in the assignment sheet that we have under possible thesis statement directions, you want to keep in mind that when we use the term consumerism, it has a negative connotation or flavor to it, while the word consuming or buying is a neutral term. The word consumerism implies a problem in most cases. The question, for instance, what drives consumerism? The translation is what is causing people to buy more than they should? So this time we're giving you questions instead of flat out thesis statements, but your thesis statement would answer one of these questions. Pardon me. I don't want you guys to skip that part because a thesis is definitely not ever supposed to be a question. Instead, we're giving you some that you would answer with your thesis claim. At the bottom of the assignment sheet, you are going to see a long list of sources. The first 5 are labeled background sources, and they are going to give you the information you need to understand the debate. So number 3 and number 4 on this list give excellent overviews of the consumerism debate itself and are a great place to start. Highly recommend them. Number 1, 2, and 5 offer statistics, which are fantastic, right, to help you legitimize your claim. You want to keep in mind that if you use a data source, you need to include the title of the graph or section. Also, you can embed an image from the source in your paper, but it doesn't count towards your 4 pages of text. One hint I have for you is that when you're approaching writing a paper like this one, which is based in sources, that I find it can be a great idea to really focus in on one complex, interesting main source. So you can think of your paper as being a conversation with that main source then. You claim, pardon me, your claim could be how much you agree or disagree with the main source's ideas, for instance. Then you can bring in ideas, facts, and examples from a second source to expand on your discussion of the main source. Sources 6 through 25 are labeled discussion sources, and they cover a wide variety of topics. Although the titles often indicate the content, I recommend skimming the beginning of all of them to gather up a bunch of ideas. I think sometimes when you have an overview of the different conversations that are going on in a topic, it makes everything click more easily. So after you've skimmed and started to read through and something that is interesting to you, then you can pick one or two to focus on for your paper. Just want to say you've got this. You've been developing your writing skills all semester, and it's prepared you for this assignment. Major Essay 3 is very similar to Major Essay 2. You just got to come up with a couple more quotes. Many of you are already putting more than 6 quotes in your papers already. So you got it. Please let us know if you have any questions. We're here to do whatever we can to help. Come visit in the Blackboard Collaborate office hours, email an embedded tutor, and don't hesitate to set up a phone call. Good luck.